So in today's class we are gonna learn our bio chapter. We are gonna start from the basic, that is the second chapter. The first chapter is just the introductory part named as living world. We will just go through it afterwards, but we are going to start our biology from this chapter, which you already have definitely here already, and maybe have gone through it also. But I'm gonna start this chapter from the very basics. So I hope you pay attention to what I'm going to say, because everything which I'm going to mention is from the NCERT, but in a simple and layman language. So let's start. What this chapter basically is about? This chapter is mainly about like the 5 kingdom classification. All over this chapter we're gonna go through these 5 kingdoms only in detail, and we are also gonna learn it. We have to delve deeper and deeper into this chapter. So if you're learning one kingdom, you have to go into it deeper, and then the second and third, like that we are gonna learn. And also its part, they are having various parts too, right? So we're gonna learn that also. Anyways, without any delay, let's move forward. So we know that earlier classification of living organism was done in a non-scientific manner. How was it done? It was done in a non-scientific manner. Sorry. For the very first time, it was done in a non-scientific manner. Okay. Then, first scientist first scientific classification. When was the first scientific classification done? It was done by Aristotle. Who did the first scientific one? Aristotle did. First scientific classification. Okay. First scientific classification was done by Aristotle, and then how did he classify? Basically, he classified mainly in basically classified uh, species, living species, into plants and animals. And plants were plants and animals. Plants were divided into 3 groups. First was tree, shrubs, and then herbs. Okay, so trees, shrubs, and then herbs. Okay, and animals were divided into 2 groups, basically on the basis of one with blood red blood, and other without red blood. That is, animals which are having red blood and without red blood. Okay, all right. So this was the basic division which was done by Aristotle. Then there was the 2 kingdom classification, which was done by um, the second kingdom classification was first proposed by Carl Linnaeus. Carl Linnaeus. He did the second 2 kingdom classification, basically 2 kingdom classification. Uh, my speed is maybe a little bit slow, but it would be for this first lecture only. Then I will make sure that I will give you proper notes for this, because right now I'm doing it just an introductory part, that's why. So I hope you understand. Okay, so now next topic is like criteria for classification of lineage. This is actually important because they have been asked such question in NEET's examination, where they have asked the criteria for the classification of lineage, car lineage. So maybe not much questions were asked on this topic, but yeah, we have to learn it anyways. So first of all, it was on the basis of, I hope you understand, I'm writing the criteria. Okay, criteria for lineage classification criteria. Okay, so first was the on the basis of presence of cell wall, presence of cell wall. Okay, and second was the ones with cell yeah, it was mainly this is the main this is the main criteria of Carl Linnaeus, I hope you understand. So the species which were having the cell wall was kept in kingdom Plantae, and the ones without the cell wall was kept in kingdom Animalia. Okay, so such division was done. A point to be noted that you will be seeing these two kingdoms, Plantae and Animalia, in almost every type of classification done by every scientist, most of the scientists. For Carl Linnaeus also, and Aristotle also mainly divided the classification of kingdoms into two, plants and animals. And then after that also, you will be seeing such these two in every classification. Okay, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, every system. Now, okay, according to Linnaeus, plants in plants he kept all the like fungus, bacteria, cyanobacteria, which is also called as blue green algae, and all the present day plants are actually kept in kingdom Plantae according to Linnaeus. Okay, so you can write it out. I'm dictating it. So in the kingdom Plantae, Linnaeus kept fungus, bacteria, cyanobacteria, and the present day plants are also obviously kept in kingdom Plantae because they are plants. And the animals in the kingdom Animalia, he kept protozoa, mycoplasma, which is also known as PPLO, and all the present day animals are also kept here. Okay. Now, what were the drawbacks? Drawback was he was not able to distinguish between many of the things, because this classification was very rough. Not every key element or key point was kept into consideration by him. He roughly divided the species into kingdom Plantae and Animalia. So he was not able to distinguish between autotrophs and heterotrophs, autotrophs and auto and hetero. He was unable to differentiate between them, and also between unicellular and multicellular. And third is he was unable to distinguish between prokaryotic and eukaryotic also. Eukaryotes, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, so this was its drawback. First one, autotrophic and heterotrophic, unicellular, multicellular, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Alright, now now let's see the three kingdom classification, which we just want to know, like what the classification, like which kingdom, third kingdom was added here. Plant and Animalia were kept here as always, as I already told you to note down. Plants and Animalia actually, animal group, and then Third, which was new one added, was Protista. Protista. Okay, Protista. Third one was this. And then for four kingdom classification, if you will see, okay, for four kingdom classification, which was added, these three will be constant, you write plant, animal, Protista, and then fourth one, this was new one added, which was Monera. Monera. Okay. Now the fifth five kingdom classification came into existence. By whom? It was proposed. The fifth five kingdom classification was proposed by Robert H. Whittaker, or you can simply say it as R.H. Whittaker. It's better to learn it his whole name, Robert H. Whittaker, but never mind. So, which of the basically kingdom was added? He did not, what was the main difference between five kingdom system of classification? It was like all the names of the groups, all the four kingdoms, starting four kingdoms were same name. Basically, the names were same, but the species in them were added differently. That is not only on the simple basis of cell presence of cell wall, or basically, yeah, it was not roughly divided. You will see it when we move further and learn about it. I mean the criteria, then you will understand it more deeply. Like, मतलब उसकी क्लासिफिकेशन ऐसे रॉ तरीके से नहीं की थी उसने उसने अच्छे से की थी कि प्लांटे के जो एनिमल्स हैं उसमें सिर्फ सारे प्लांट्स नहीं डाल दिए थे उसने, जैसे लीनियस या फिर थ्री किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन, फोर किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन, या फिर अब तक जो आ रहा था, होता जा रहा था कि सिंपली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्रेजेंस ऑफ सेल वॉल एंड एब्सेंस ऑफ सेल वॉल के बेसिस पे क्लासिफिकेशन हो रहा था अभी तक. बट फाइव किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन में, दैट इज़ R.H. विट्टेकर ने ऐसा नहीं किया था. R.H. विट्टेकर ने और भी क्राइटेरियाज को कंसिडरेशन में रख कर डिवीजन की थी. इवन दो जो स्टार्टिंग के चार किंगडम्स थे उनका नाम उन्होंने सेम जो पहले लोगों ने रखा था वैसे ही रखा था, प्लांटे, एनिमेलिया, प्रोटिस्टा, मोनेरा. उन्होंने जो नया किंगडम खुद से ऐड किया था वो फंगाई था, क्योंकि फंगाई जो था वो थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंट था. अभी हम पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है. क्राइटेरिया हम देखते हैं जल्दी से फिर इसी बात पर. एक आता है ऑर्डर ऑफ डिक्रीजिंग प्रायोरिटी ऑफ या फिर इम्पोर्टेंस, उस ऑर्डर में हम पढ़ेंगे. अभी क्या होता है वो हम समझेंगे, ठीक है. तो पहला तो क्राइटेरिया था मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन, दैट इज़ मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन के बेसिस पे हो रहा था, ऑटोट्रॉफिक या हेट्रोट्रॉफिक, ठीक है. फिर दूसरा था कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ सेल, प्रोकैरियोटिक और यूकैरियोटिक में डिवीजन हो रहा था. प्रोकैरियोटिक जो था सिंपल सेल थे एंड यूकैरियोट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स सेल थे. फिर हो रहा था तीसरा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ बॉडी, या फिर हम इसको थैलस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी कहते हैं, ठीक है. तो मैं लिख देती हूँ. पहला तो हो रहा था मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन, पहला क्राइटेरिया, ठीक है. फिर दूसरा था कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ सेल, तीसरा था कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ बॉडी, या फिर हम इसको थैलस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी कहते हैं. So basically in mode of nutrition, it includes autotrophs and heterotrophs, okay. So on the basis of which species is autotrophic or heterotrophic, and then for this complexity of cell, it means if the cell is prokaryote or eukaryote, okay. That is, prokaryote is simple celled where nuclear membrane is present, and for eukaryote nuclear membrane is absent. Sorry, for prokaryotes Okay, that is primitive cells. Nuclear membrane is absent, and eukaryotes, nuclear membrane is present. U means true nucleus, so it's present. Okay. Now complexity of body, that is whether a species is unicellular or multicellular. That also depends. That is, this criteria also included that. And then came basically the fourth criteria, which was mode of reproduction. Mode of reproduction. Okay, mode of reproduction. Whether a species is asexually reproducing or sexually reproducing. Then fifth is phylogenetic relation, which is the most important and the newest kind of criteria which was added here. Phylogenetic relation, or we can say phylogeny simply. It has various names. I'm gonna dictate it because it will take a lot of time writing it. First is like phylogenetic relationship, phylogeny, ancestral history, or evolutionary history. This was one of the most important criteria of RH Whittaker. Okay, but I'm saying this, uh, you know, important because this is something new which you don't know, which you are learning it for the first time, maybe, yeah, in 11th. So that's why. But in actually, this I have written all the criteria in the order of priority. First priority is given to mode of nutrition, whether a species is heterotrophic or autotrophic. First of all, we have to divide the basically species on the basis of mode of nutrition. Then comes complexity of cell. Then third, complexity of body. And then comes mode of reproduction. And then at last phylogeny is seen. Sometimes phylogeny is neglected also. But mostly, first if you want to divide or classify something on the basis of, according to R.H. Whittaker, he said if you want to classify any species, first see its mode of nutrition, whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic. Then you might see the complexity of cell, then complexity of body, and then uh, reproduction mode, and then phylogeny. This is the order of priority. Okay, so if I ask you most important criteria of Whittaker's classification is, you will give the answer mode of nutrition. Okay, such question can come whether which of the following is most important criteria for Whittaker's classification. So you will, and options, let me give you option because it depends on option, right? What if mode of nutrition is not given? And it's like cell type, B, body type, C, reproduction, and D, phylogeny. Okay, so what would be your answer? Obviously this one, because cell type or complexity of cell comes second after nutrition. So more priority will be given to this only. Okay. So for this lecture, that's all, because this was a simple introductory lecture. In the next video, we are gonna learn how to classify organism. Basically, the chart we already studied in maybe ninth, yeah, in ninth. So we will refer to the table once, and all our basic concept will be cleared of this chapter, and then we can start the whole actual topics. Okay. So thank you very much, and I hope you will continue watching watching further lectures in on our channel. and I give you this, my promise that you will understand each and everything. Thank you.